Following President Biden's catastrophic withdrawal and the Taliban's victory in Afghanistan, America may be facing an elevated terror threat here at home from groups like al-Qaeda. Remember al-Qaeda? In just 25 days, we will be commemorating the 20th anniversary of the horrible 9/11 attacks that took so many American lives. And now top Pentagon officials and others are warning that terrorists based in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan could launch new attacks here on the U.S. homeland. Now, given that nightmare scenario, Republican lawmakers now slamming President Biden and accusing him of putting American lives at risk.
The biggest thing, Sean, it's a disaster for our counterterrorism. America is less safe. Al-Qaeda 3.0 will come roaring back. Al-Qaeda and the Taliban are absolutely married at the hip. But this time, when we go back in, the Taliban are going to be better armed with taxpayer-funded equipment. We have no bases in the region, and we have no local allies because they've all been hunted down. I want to see resignations.
I want to see resignations also, Greg, but I have a slightly different take on it. Remember what happened the last time the Taliban hosted al-Qaeda? Al-Qaeda hit us, so we came back, we wiped out the Taliban, we took their country.
Right.
In other words, their support of al-Qaeda cost them their country for 20 years. Why would they be so eager now that they have their country back to sponsor al-Qaeda?
They already are. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's also there is a silver lining. Once ISIS seized land, they had to keep it. And once you start keeping land, you become a target. You can't be underground forever. So if the Taliban starts doing some really, really heinous crap, they're going to have to be public about it. And if al-Qaeda comes out, we have to create a way. I call it, the pest control analogy, terror control. But I am happy that Admiral Milley, is that his name? He moved up the terror threat. It is now more dangerous than a white Republican, but still not as lethal as a Trump voter. You got to remember, the war on terror was supposed to shift to white supremacy. So this has got to chafe Don Lemon's butt because CNN's not going to be able to pull this anymore because now you got to deal with the Taliban. I'm just hoping that if the Taliban creates a government, it is easier to annihilate them if we choose, because they're now not hiding in tunnels.
As long as they don't bring white supremacists.
Yes, exactly. They could be white supremacists.
But, Dana, you disagree with my analysis that why support al-Qaeda when al-Qaeda is so hot?
Well, I don't disagree that would make logical sense. The problem is al-Qaeda has already pledged to be there, and the Taliban has been working with them, and the UN report just recently said that. So I think that's the facts on the ground already are that it's not just al-Qaeda, but every other sort of radical Islamic terrorism group. Now, even if they don't come to Afghanistan, that might be where the Taliban gets smart, right? Maybe they say, well, don't come here.
They don't get along, do they? Do they really? There are like 20 of them, right? 20 different groups.
There are
They're all
factions.
in the gym now.
I think, though, that...
They're in the gym?
Yeah, they're in the gym.
I think the most important thing of the last 20 years has been that we didn't start the war. Remember, the war came to us, and then we decided to go on the offense. And that has to remain. So if this helps remind everybody that you can't get into September 10th thinking and complacency, then that won't be a bad thing. Remember the 3 a.m. phone call ad of 2016? We didn't talk too much about that in 2020, but we probably should have.
So what do you think about al-Qaeda?
Well,
and the legitimacy of this group that was basically defunct coming back to life because of the Taliban?
Well, I think the immediate threat now are the Americans that are still in Afghanistan. And if one of those Americans or one of our allies dies at the hands of the Taliban, Joe thinks things are bad now. After that happens, it's going to be like an Iran hostage situation. Also, these refugees, some of them deserve to have amnesty and to come here. Do I trust Joe Biden to vet them? Of course I don't. It does not look like good vetting is going on at the Kabul airport right now,
But don't you...
And to think that the guy who let the Boston bombers come in here after Russia said, hey, watch out for these guys.
Children.
They were alerted by Moscow to this administration, and we didn't do anything because there was a misspelling. They also let the San Bernardino shooter in here after his social media was plastered with jihadist propaganda, Geraldo. I don't trust Joe to vet. He's incompetent. So that's a threat to the homeland, too. Great question today at the briefing to Jake Sullivan. Woman, don't know her name, had a mask on. She said, what about the NATO allies? What about Taiwan? What about South Korea? Are we going to defend them after what we just witnessed and a propaganda gift to Russia, China, North Korea? They're just going to tell those targets, you think the Americans are competent enough to save your butt? It's going to hurt.
There's a big difference between Taiwan and South Korea and Afghanistan. Afghanistan's in the middle of nowhere. What was your first feeling when you saw the crowds at the airport yesterday and Sunday?
Just that it was a horrible visual that is going to stick to this presidency. That is one of those things that, and you can always tell when something is repeated by people you agree with and disagree with on social media, when it has like that kind of reverberation, because so many people, they think in pictures, and that's what they latch on to. And I think, in terms of terror, I hope to God that there's not a terror attack here. Right. But I think we have grown so complacent and we have given over so many of our civil liberties during the pandemic that we could have a massive compromise if there's a terror attack here. And to your point, I don't trust anyone in the federal government to do any kind of vetting because they have shown their failure over and over and over again. The one Greg was talking about, silver linings, I think cops will come out better from this because they have been so demonized during the pandemic that now when you see NYPD officers with the counterterrorism badge on their uniforms, people go, okay, good. Someone's here who's actually going to pay attention to stuff and they're going to keep me safe. So
there you go.
Just one last note about this. My translator for many years in Afghanistan is hiding out in Kabul, hoping to get one of those rides through the Taliban roadblocks to the airport. Many international groups are working to make that happen, but it's something that is extremely concerning to many of us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.